No, not at all. Because not at all. Everyone takes care of mom.
I walk out, you get cowboy, say every my head, I got all.
program. And we've got all that business taken care of. Thank you. Again, welcome. I'm Catherine Bailey. I am the chair of LaunchBox Ladies, and on behalf of all of the LaunchBox ladies, and I'm saying I welcome you today. Today looks to be a very promising program. And I think something that we can all utilize in our life, regardless of whether we have a small business or we're running a household or we're working for someone else. So I'm really looking forward to having this get started. In the meantime, I want to mention, I hope you enjoyed lunch. There's plenty there that's been supplied by a small business in Bethlehem, Coquita. And their QR code is on the plaque over by the food, if you're interested in, but they are in downtown Bethlehem, and I think by the looks of everyone's plates, it must be delicious, and I'm gonna do that right after I'm done here. I'd also like to mention, don't forget to talk about us on social media, spread the word, and we are always very grateful for that. There are two other announcements I have. One of the announcements is in almost direct relationship to today, and that is our second annual pitch competition, which is going to happen on June 26th. So today is in essence a prep for that, but for other things as well. That will be June 26th, and the applications are open. They will be open until May 30th. There are sheets on the table. If you would like to grab one and apply, or ask any one of us for the information, we are really looking forward to a great event this year. The other event that we have going on is our annual Ambassador Circle event, which is an evening event, and that will be happening May 14th in the evening. And we have Susan Yee, CEO of Active Data, and the program's going to be based on shaping futures, breaking barriers, Susan Yee's insights on business innovation and women's leadership. So that should also prove to be a very exciting evening. So rather than take up any more of your time with me, it is with great pleasure that I introduce our very hardworking director of LaunchBox, Cindy Evans. Oh, there you are.
Thank you, Catherine, for that warm welcome. It brings me great pleasure to welcome new and returning guests to our LaunchBox Ladies April Speaker Series event. I'm excited to hear from our expert panelists on the intricacies of pitching your business. Now, I'm sure most of us in this room have heard or seen the pitch show Shark Tank. Plenty of experts have analyzed Shark Tank pitch examples to determine what elements are successful. Which pitch will motivate the venture capitalists to fund, and which contestants will leave with only their product. When the Science of People studied the first 495 entrepreneurs to appear on the show, it found that the 253 successful pitches, meaning those teams who got deals, shared 10 common qualities. So when you're developing your business pitch, remember to be credible, agreeable, interactive, captivating, relevant, entertaining, confident, powerful, funny, and inspirational. At Lehigh Valley LaunchBox, we are proud to support aspiring entrepreneurs and encourage them not to quit their daydream. Programming like Lehigh Valley LaunchBox and the support of Invent Penn State exemplifies our commitment to providing support, resources, and guidance for the entrepreneurial community. At Lehigh Valley LaunchBox, we offer programming and dozens of resources that are free to all Pennsylvania residents or businesses. We help entrepreneurs avoid the common mistakes that startups often face and enable them to focus their time on growing their business. Programs such as brainstorming, where our advisors sit down with an entrepreneur and brainstorm. Masterminds, which includes peer-to-peer networking. An idea test lab, a 4-week accelerator program that helps you test your business ideas. A customer discovery, a virtual education program designed to help de-risk the startup program. And of course, our LaunchBox Ladies Speaker Series. After our programming, please feel free to use the campus as an opportunity to continue networking. You can visit our cafeteria, the art gallery on the 3rd floor, quietly check out the resources in the library for our entrepreneurs, or stop by the bookstore and purchase some PSU LV logoed items. With that, I have to get that pitch in there. Without further ado, a current student here at PSU LV, Kaylee Castillo, will assist in introducing our panelists.
Hello, everybody. My name is Haley Castillo. I am a sophomore here at PSU LV. I'm a political science major with intent of pre-law. So I will start off by saying that this program is being recorded, just to let you guys all know. So further ado, I'm going to introduce everybody. Javadi Crawford, a corporate trained project management professional, has a master's in business administration from Indiana University. She brings compassion and attention to detail to the field of professional organization. Having worked in the field of social services prior entering corporate management, she is able to meld the two professions. She understands the necessity of timelines when dealing with professional estates and art of compassion with families. She can creatively problem solve and develop a detailed action plan that often exceeds clients' expectations. Project Move was birthed out of necessity. Many of her colleagues were experiencing career moves or changes in family status, and they needed her help, or they needed help in general. Realizing problems are often disguised as business opportunities, Project Move was founded in 2015. Founded on the premises of every move is a project. Then we will continue on with Jonathan Epstein, president of JTJ Tech and co-inventor of Salamander Reservoir, an award-winning patent solution designed to connect, protect wet and dry fire sprinkler systems from pipe freeze. Jonathan is currently the chairman of Great Allentown Fair Foundation and serves on the board of the Fund of Benefit Children and Youth, and also serves as an advisor of LaunchBox Lehigh Valley. Lastly, I'm going to introduce Rita Guthrie, Open Door Public Relations. Rita Guthrie has a keen awareness of what it takes to energize a small business. She is the go-to person for brainstorming clever marketing ideas to reach out your target audience with a spot-on message, developing simple strategies. The Idea Lady works with each consulting client individually to increase the visibility in the marketplace. Well known as a reliable resource and master connector, Rita can help you ignite creativity, identify and establish co-marketing partnerships, and deal with public relations issues with grace. She is an expert in the brand consistency and creating events to educate, engage, and expand your network. Rita is a member of the Chancellor Advisory Council for LaunchBox Ladies. Hi, guys. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Rita Guthrie from Open Door Public Relations.
How many have I met you before here? How many have I met? All right, I want to meet all of you at the end of this. I'm known as the Ideal Lady, and what I do is I help people.
Close to your mouth.
Do I have to start again? Yes. All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Rita Guthrie from Open Door Public Relations. I'm known as the Ideal Lady. And one of the things I do is I help entrepreneurs and salespeople and small business owners like you grow their visibility with creative ideas. So what if you have a great customer, but you don't have enough customers? Well, we can talk about how you got that customer and where to find more like that. It's so obvious to me from the outside looking in what I can do to help add layers of success onto the marketing that you are already doing for your business. How many of you are regular networkers? That's marketing. How many of you are on social media? That's marketing. How many of you have a great website? That's marketing. So the most important thing for you to do when you're at a networking event is not be there to help yourself, but to be there to help the person to your right and the person to your left. And the reason is because in the end, it will help you. Every place you go, every networking event that you go to, you should have that in mind, and you should feel that vibe in the room, that everybody is there to help each other. That helps us grow. It helps us get referrals. But remember, you have to give referrals to get referrals. That's marketing. Now, what if you have a client that's kind of been a little troublesome? I can help you choose your words so you can handle that graciously and gracefully. That's public relations. So I've asked several people in this room to take pictures today because that helps LaunchBox ladies grow. It helps Javadi's business grow, and it helps Jonathan's business grow. So take pictures of each other, tag each other, and talk about what you do. That's marketing. I'm Rita Guthrie. I'm the Ideal Lady from Open Door Public Relations. Now, let's hear from Jonathan.
That's really, folks, that's really a tough act to follow, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do it analog. I'm gonna do it a little old school. Well, maybe a little bit of new school. This one? All right, perfect. So my name is Jonathan Epstein, and I am a co-founder of JTJ Tech. We've invented a device called the Salamander Reservoir that alerts to pipe freeze symptoms in wet and dry fire sprinkler systems so that owners and managers don't get stung by pipe freeze failure. That's what we do. We connect and protect your life safety systems that protect your people and protect your buildings. That's my pitch. That's who I am. That's what kind of got me here. This is the 88th revision of my pitch that started in 2020. If you've ever seen it, what took 32 seconds just now took me 3 minutes then, and I had the crutch of props and a screen and my son who is the cameraman. But the point of today is to refine your pitch and your speech. And I'll tell you that it's always a work in progress. It always is an iteration. And the more you can work on it, the better it is for everybody. It's about getting that clarity and clarity and clarity. And now for someone who has a ton of clarity, I will throw it to you.
Oh. Okay, how about that? Okay, so first of all, let's give them like all the love that you have in your heart. So I get to talk about this one part about pitching and then I'm going to give you my pitch. It's the Q&A part. Who hates the Q&A part of pitching? Who even knew there was a Q&A part of pitching? Okay, Q&A of pitching is when they ask you the question like, why did you want to do this business? Did you really think this business would make money? Or I like the best question, how scalable is this business? Oh, wow, you can hear a pin drop, huh? So that's pitching 101, being able to answer the questions about your business. So it's more, I love how Rita enters a room. She's like, hey, I'm Rita, see me. And then Jonathan's like, I got this cool product. And then here I am standing with a service business. So here, I'll introduce myself. Hello, my name is Javati Crawford. I am the founder of Project Move. And I say founder as opposed to CEO, like the other titles that you can give yourself, because I was told once that how you describe yourself lets people know where you are in your entrepreneurial journey. So I say founder because I founded this opportunity. And so what Project Move is a professional organizing company. And we use vision casting to figure out how to make your space what you want. We specialize in moving and relocation. And so that's what we do. And people still say, gosh, I have no idea what you do. But that's okay. That's where the question and answer comes in. So it says, Javati, tell me exactly how you can help a client. I help a client. It could be the real estate agent. So this is here, I'm identifying who I want to work with. So it could be a real estate agent. I've had real estate agents come to me and say, I can't get this client ready for listing for this house. So we come in and help them declutter and figure out what their space looks like. Or the best example is you get to the closing table and their stuff is still in the house. And we help people to figure out how to make sure that when you get to the closing table, that the house is empty like you expect it to be. Because I've had people say, when I moved in, the stuff was still here. And I'd say, well, it's not gonna be here this time. So it's really about the Q&A, feeling comfortable in how you answer the questions of your business. So networking is so Q&A driven. So I'm gonna throw it out to you because this is more of like, we do this all the time. I feel like I'm a goat in this area, so let's make you goats too. So any questions out here? Okay.
I have a question.
Oh my gosh, Rita, you have a question?
What happens when you are considering working with a new client? What makes you decide that they're not a good match for you?
So everybody in here has a business plan, right? Yes. Everyone in here is going to have a business plan, right? Okay, there we are. So in my business plan, I identify who I want to work with and like what they look like. And so I started giving them names. Like they could be like, like the Javati client is like perfection. That's me, right? But you might have like the Rita client. The Rita client she may be someone who has been in her house for over 20 years. And so I know who these people are. I know what their characteristics are. So when I get into the room with them, I can already tell on whether or not they're a great fit. And so as I'm like leaving the space, I've learned that you can price yourself out of people who are not a great fit. And so like you can figure out how, so that, like it's a win for both of them. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your budget doesn't work for that. So that you can make it a little bit of an easier thing, or you can just say you're not a great fit for it. Just really depends on how you want to deal with that. But it's ideal client and it's in that project plan. Everybody has a business plan.
Can I jump in on that last?
No.
Before we talk about business plan, what was interesting about what you said is that there's also another alternative that you can do if you find somebody may not be an ideal fit. You can think about what Rita said, which is, listen, you may not be a good fit for me. However, maybe there's an online service, or maybe you could try this, or maybe, so I think that as part of the networking, and we're always marketing and all of this stuff, is that there may be an opportunity for you not to close the door, but to just say, listen, there's other stuff. If you're in a jam, you can call me back. Maybe your budget has changed. Maybe your needs have changed. Maybe the closing got sped up and you need to pay that premium, right? So there are other opportunities. But like Rita said, if you're helping other people, that will in turn help you, because nothing is more relevant in a pitch opportunity or even in a network opportunity than being truthful. If you can't, this is one of those things I learned the hard way when I was first starting. It was, oh yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, we networking. Oh, we can do that. We do it all. You need your printer connected to the cloud. Yeah, I can do that too. Oh my God, I don't know how to do it. Yeah. So I think you need to be upfront and you say, listen, this is what we do. And I know how to do this because I've identified my list. I've identified my strong suits. It's in my business plan. This is what I do, and I do it very well. And that's what my attention, that's what my expertise is in. And if I need something else, I can refer it out. And nobody's got a deeper network of referrals than Rita. So think about things like that, which is, I read a book a long time ago called Setting the Table by Danny Meyer. And his thing was ABCD, always be collecting dots. Who do you know that, oh, maybe I know somebody who is wanting to write a book, or maybe I know somebody who needs to clean out their garage, or maybe I know somebody who can get in touch with a local farmer and help to display their shelf-stable good. Oh, maybe I know somebody in the education space. Maybe I know, right? So that's kind of what drives that value. So even if it's not in yourself, and I know this is a little off topic for pitch, but it comes up in the Q&A when people are asking you, oh, do you do this too?
And you're like, yep, I do that too. Yep, I'll do it all.
You gotta be careful saying yes to everything, because it can be a trap.
Yes, yeah. And the other thing is that one of the things that's in your business plan that we all have.
They're nodding along more than they did the first time you asked.
Okay, perfect. So I feel like it's sinking in, right? It's sinking in.
That's right.
Is that you actually have a section which is competitor analysis, which is the other people who are in your space who do what you do. Because one of the questions that you might get in a Q&A is, what makes you the best choice for a particular customer? So if I were to ask you that question, like what, so if I said, Rita, why should someone choose you?
Well, it depends. One of the things I do is I meet with people individually and have a conversation with them briefly to see if it's a great match or not. The thing I do to prepare is for a first official consultation is I read everything I can find about you. I look at your website, I Google you, I look at your socials and see what you're posting. And then the beginning of our first meeting, I reflect back to you what I learned. Okay, and then we're going to take it from there. Is that what you want people to know about you? Do you want people to know something else? And one of the things when we spoke about selecting the right clients for yourself, is that when you are pitching in a Shark Tank kind of environment, it's okay to say, no, I don't do that. But what you should make a point of saying is, this is why I'm different than others in my field, and say exactly why you're different. It doesn't mean you're better. It means you have a different personality or a different skill set, or, you have to point out why you stand out in your field, why your product is better than others on the market.
Yeah, because
Better or different.
yeah, because one of the things that you'll see a lot of people say, choose me because I'm better. And that's not really a marketing strategy. It's more so like I'm comparing myself to someone else. I feel like I'm like, if remember when you were in elementary school, like when we wrote on tablets and everything, like with stone and everything. And like you compared your friends to each other because this person was better than that person, instead of just saying, I like this person because of who they are. And that's what you want to make sure that when you're talking about your product, you're talking about why your product is good, not why their product is bad, which makes your product good. Because that shows you that you haven't actually done any research. All you were able to do is say, it's kind of like saying yellow is better than red. There's no reason behind it. It's just yellow. You like yellow and I like red. But if you can say red is the color because it brings out the passion and I like it because it's such a bold color, then all of a sudden, now you can give it characteristics. And so that's what you want to do with your business. So when you're answering questions, it's not like, oh, I'm just better. Even though I might think it in my head, but that's not how you should answer that question.
So I want to add something. Thanks to Jonathan, we all have handouts. And he refers to a pitch formula from a Shark Tank item that's called the Scrub Daddy. It's just a sponge with a smile. But when you watch this guy's pitch, he takes this inexpensive little thing that looks like it could come from the dollar store, and he immediately performs magic with scrubbing pots on the spot. And talking about it could be soft, it could be hard, it could be used for this surface, it could be used for that surface. And for only $2.99, this can be yours. But go onto that link and watch it. You learn so much about your own pitch from watching this guy's pitch on Shark Tank. It's amazing. And also, Jonathan gave you a really great outline as to what your pitch should and should not include. Whether you're pitching because you're introducing yourself at your networking event, or you're pitching at a Shark Tank, or what if you have done you're an engineer and you've put together a study and now you have to present it to a potential client. And you have to convince them to hire you for thousands and thousands of dollars. You need to make that pitch clear. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? How's it going to improve? Does it meet your budget? So there are different pitches for different reasons. And this is a great example of pitching a product. So make sure you go home and watch it.
So one of the things along that line is yes, there's different pitches for different contexts. And we've got you guys all, and whoever is listening in Zoom land, have the opportunity to apply for the LaunchBox Ladies second annual pitch competition. And that's going to be a little bit more of a structured thing, right? So you'll probably need to have a structured, honed in pitch for about 2 minutes or so. I don't know the exact rules. I'm sure that it's posted or it will be forthcoming. But the only way that you can get there is to start working with it. Put down the stuff that Giovanni had mentioned about what sets you apart, why you're better, why your product is better, what the market is lacking, where you shine, where that opportunity is for you. You can follow the formula. The formula is relatively, I'm going to say, easy, and it doesn't necessarily need to be in steps 1 through 5. It can go 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, but they all have the same kind of gist to them. I would encourage you to start writing stuff down and then to say and just devote time to repeating it, to get those words in your mouth. Yes.
We can ask questions now.
That's why we're talking, is because you guys aren't asking questions.
Okay,
please.
So I'm having issues with what to put first and what the sequence is. Because do you start with I know I'm watching Y Combinator pitch competition suggestions. So do you start with the problem? Do you start with the team? Do you start with an emotional connection to your audience? Obviously, you start with your mission statement and you describe what the product is, but then where do you go from there?
I'd love to answer this as the least qualified person in the room before we have the experts answer this. I love to be corrected, but I would say that there is no right answer. It's like, how do you start a movie? Do you start it with the action? Do you start it with the drama? Do you start it with the character building? I don't know. I truthfully don't know. Why don't you talk a little bit about what you've got to have the element of what you do that's different.
Oh,
the formula is the market is lacking this, and I have this, which will make your life better because, and therefore I should get XYZ. You should buy my product.
Paloma,
yeah.
you know you have a great opening line.
Hit it.
But let me say, what made you start creating the garments that you create? Just one sentence. One sentence. What made you start creating the products that you create, the garments?
Surviving stage 4 cancer.
And why are your garments unique?
Because they're fashion forward, comfortable, and medically accessible.
And what does medically accessible mean?
It means that you can get a CT scan, an X-ray. You don't have to take your clothes off. You don't have to be cold, vulnerable. You can get your chemo treatments. It has easy.
And you're still looking
fantastic.
fantastic.
Exactly, and you look amazing. And that gives you self-esteem, and it makes you feel good about yourself, and it gets you through the day. And they make great gifts.
And you can still wear these garments afterwards because nobody can tell that they're specialty garments because they're stylish and comfortable and great fabrics, and they're made with love.
Oh, cool. So are you going to pitch it for me?
But just, okay, so Rita knows you, I don't. And so what she said is very interesting. But if I were sitting here I would not be that intrigued. I'm only playing the other side of it, okay? So please don't get like emotional and stuff. I think pitches should start with me liking you.
Okay.
Like when you get to the stage, you have to be likable. Like your first thing is that when you get on stage, people have to care that they want to hear what you have to say. It doesn't matter how great your product is. If nobody is like tuned in to say, I'm just curious about what it is she's gonna say, so that when you walk on the stage for a pitch, like, so we all entered, right? We all entered. You saw our personality as we walked on the stage, correct? And so you got a little bit curious, right? And so that's how you start your pitch. You start with making sure that you show up on that stage, that it's not your product, you show up, because believe it or not, they're buying you, not just your products. So the first thing that you want to do is not jump right in there and say, hey, I got this great product, it's for chemo, it's for fashion, it's for this, because you don't know what their biases are. But you do know how to walk into the room so that people are like, oh, Javadi's here. And so that when you get on that stage, that it's got to be about you, because the founder of a company is about 90% of what you are, because they don't know if your product's great, they don't know anything about the quality, they set the tone. So when you're coming to pitch, it's like how you enter that room and who you want to be around you as you enter that room. Because in theory, your product is for a sad period in people's lives, right? And so if you go in and you start talking about the sad period in people's lives, then all of a sudden, all I remember is that you make a product for sad times in my life. And so if you come in and you tell me why you want some sunshine to my sad period in my life, then all of a sudden I'm like, oh.
So here's what you do.
Okay.
You're wearing your outfit, you walk in like you're on the runway. Clearly do not do runway. And swirl around and talk about your outfit. And then talk about what it does.
But I will say in the answers, and that's not to, I think.
Okay, so the great thing about it is one thing is that you'll notice that all three of us are different. And how we pitch and how we come about it is going to be different. And so the key that we want you to do is to take what you can from each one of us and say, I can use that. And then if you like being flamboyant and entering a room like me is hard work. I'm telling you, it's hard work. You gotta have a song in your head. You gotta be like ready, like to be like, I might dance a little bit. You gotta be like, it's a lot of work. And I'm not gonna say that everybody's got that level of energy or even wants to put forward that.
That's not happening.
So I'm gonna say, if he entered the room like I entered the room, you'd be like, okay, now what's going on? What did he do before he got here? So you have to make sure, that's why your personality has to, like as an organizer, I have to be full in the room, because people, like that's part of what my brand is. If it's not part of what your brand is, don't bring that energy, because it wouldn't make sense. But your brand can't be sadness, right? And so therefore, you can't be sadness. So like you have to be, because your brand is about being the light, so that people who are having a sad period in their life, how they can still be fashionable and they can be joyful, that we gotta feel. That's your brand promise. Those are the people that you want that emotion when they feel it. So live it, be it.
And the words that you said in response to Rita's questions, I would write all of those things down, because you said it perfectly, very succinctly. They are fashionable, so you don't have to feel vulnerable. You don't have to get undressed. They're medically compliant. They're for all sizes. This is the target. You've clearly identified the target audience. You've identified why they would identify and use and purchase from you. But think about those things. What is it going to take? How would I introduce this to a stranger? How would I do that stuff? You've got the words together. It may help to cut them out on paper and put them in different lines and say, do I want to lead with this? Do I want to lead fashion forward? Or do I want to say, listen, there are millions of people who deal with stage 4 And I just want to be a glimmer of light to give them some dignity in and out of treatment centers. And just start to work words in. Oh, how does it work? Most people who have my stuff said they feel secure, that they feel excited, that it's like wearing lipstick to the MRI machine. It's one thing that they can control on this horrible, horrible journey. But I'm going to tell you that we can get through it. We can get through it in style, and I'm here to support you and envelop you. You know, like it's stuff like that. Think about what those words are and think about what kind of order you want to put them in. Even if you say, listen, my introduction, I'm going to leave that blank, but my define the problem, I know what that is. And I know what my number 3, define the solution is. And what's the best order for that? Because that's not set in stone. These are all movable parts.
Yeah, and have fun. Like, I mean, believe it or not, you started a business because you believed in it. It was exciting. It was fun. Gosh, if this stuff becomes like work, you might as well go back to corporate.
We have another question over here.
Well, I don't have a question, but from a Gen Z perspective, somebody who, didn't grow up writing on tablets, I
Her tablets were plugging in.
had to go there. Well, I will say we are listening. Like this whole Gen Z table is listening to you guys. And obviously, I know nothing about businesses, but what I will say is a perspective, not a question. What I will say is from a Gen Z perspective, honestly, we listen to what the owner has to say. Like we associate what the owner or the creator has to say more than the brand itself. Sometimes we want to hear what it is that your story is we want to know who you are, not just your story. Because everybody has a story, We also want to hear who you are, how did you make everything, and what makes you different. Of course, like they explain, how are you different from everybody else? But also, we relate everything to social media now. We want to know who represents your product, why do they represent your product, and their story also. So that was just my perspective on the whole take.
Thank you, yeah.
And I would only disagree with the first thing that you said, which is you don't know anything about business, because clearly you do. You're trying to fool us because those are all very important things. And those are all decision-making things that you shouldn't downplay. Maybe you want to downplay it, but I call BS on that.
Your backstory,
Just a little.
Just a little.
everyone in business should have a backstory. How you came to be doing this, why you do it, what motivated you, maybe how you evolved, because all of our businesses evolve. Okay, and by the way, there are books here that tell all this story.
We have another question, Randy.
Oh, can you say who you are when you do the question, please?
Sure. My name is Pam Cantone. I am the founder of Big Seeds, a social emotional curriculum program developer. Coming from the generation of many years ago, I am very intimidated by technology and the new way of doing things, rather than I'm the first one, I got my pen going on the paper, that's how I do things. And just the idea of even coming together to apply for the pitch, I already deleted everything and shut my computer down and told myself I can't do it. Do you have resources and people that would help the old generation like me actually apply and come together for
Yes.
Cindy, can you raise your hand?
The short answer is yes.
There's an analog IRL resource. So Cindy is the director of this LaunchBox program. And there are, from masterminds to Idea Test Lab, there are tons of programs that will help people at any stage of their journey. So Cindy is the person to talk to. Her contact information is on the small half sheet of paper. And I wouldn't be
The half sheet.
the half sheet. Yeah. That's it.
Everyone should have one at the table. If you don't, make sure to see one of us and we'll make sure that you get one.
So if there are any Lehigh Valley LaunchBox ambassadors in the house, or people on the board or chair, I forget what they're called, the ambassadors and the chair. The advisory council. Thank you. Just quick show of hands. Look around the room. These are your resources. These are your resources here. There are thousands of others around, but here, analog, IRL, in real life. This is, come see us.
For those who don't know, IRL is in real life.
That's real life. Yeah, in real life. We're analog advisors.
Yeah, and the other thing is, the one thing that we want you to take away from this is to know that there are resources that can help you along the journey. That the reason that we are here and the reason why we exist is so that we can make sure that you understand that you are not, like, you may be a solopreneur. And has everybody heard that term solopreneur before? Meaning, if you haven't, what it just basically means is that you started a business by yourself. However, you don't have to remain by yourself. You should always be seeking out community so that you can get the resources that you need. So one of the things that Rita does, like, better than, like, even me, you imagine she does better than me, is that she understands the value in connecting and making sure that the resources that you need are available to you. So for example, I'll give an example of, so I'm just gonna do a shameless plug. I do this thing called Throw It Out Thursday. It's on my Facebook page, so maybe you can find me. And what it is that I tell people that if you do one thing a week, that you can actually get to declutter. Like, a lot of people feel like you gotta start with the whole house. And then you take out your whole closet and then you can't handle it. So we do one thing. So the one thing that I did is that I started attending networking events and I was collecting business cards, and I'm gonna call it collecting business cards. So I was not doing anything with the business cards, I was collecting them. I might as well have done a board, I could have done wallpaper with them, and then I was like collecting them. But then I realized that became clutter. And so then I had to figure out what was my process to get through each of that. So instead of just collecting business cards, I needed to sit down and say, why am I collecting business cards? Why am I showing up? Why am I doing the time? And so that's what doing each one of these activities does, is that you figure out one thing that you can do a little bit better, and then you do that better. And then you get to the next thing and you do the next thing better. So where you may not feel comfortable writing down all of the things that are going on in your business, the thing that you do feel comfortable is talking about your business. And so get very good at talking about your business. And then I would say your next step, like I journal all the time. I think people who don't journal are weird. So I just want to let you know that. So I'm just saying it. If you're not writing down anything, I think it's weird, and it could just be from my generation, but I think that that's how I process information. And so I feel that write it down, write it down, write it down. And then one day you're going to go back and read what you wrote down, and you're going to be like, wow, that was pretty cool. And you're going to learn about yourself, because sometimes your thoughts are not for today. They're actually for you, for next week, and that's how you evolve and you learn. So as you are working on your business, how you communicate your business, I encourage you to write it down, cut out pictures, make it artistic. But then all of a sudden you can then easily tell people what you do. And you can make the magic happen.
And let me add one more thing. I have a question to ask. Cindy, all of the resources that we have here, the Masterminds, the Idea Test Lab, the LaunchBox ladies, do we take Visa and MasterCard for those? And American Express?
So no.
Why do you just take cash?
She's only cash.
So
That was a trick question.
it was a trick question. So all of the resources with LaunchBox are free to a Pennsylvania resident or business.
Free?
Free to Pennsylvania residents or businesses. So yes, we will get you connected to an advisor, to a mentor, to one of our board members, our council members, to the legal clinic. We'll get you the resources you need to get from idea to ideation to implementation.
Yes, important.
We have a question right here. I'll be back over there from.
Hello, my name is Nadia, and I'm the founder of the Spanish Immersion Learning Center here in the Lehigh Valley. It's actually the first full immersion preschool and childcare center. And I'm looking to send an application for the pitch And this is actually going to be for my venture with a virtual product. So I have a question about the guidelines for the presentation. I did review I think it was a YouTube video from last year to just kind of see what the presentations are supposed to look like and to kind of do a little bit of homework that way. But I'd like to know, because I only saw presentations that may have had a digital screen to guide them. I wanted to know if there's guidelines for using prompts or anything like that.
I love props.
Oh, yeah, I know you love that. Okay, so are you, just for clarification before we go, are you talking about the video for submission or the presentation for the people who are selected to present?
The actual pitch competition, I watched it all
Okay.
fully.
So, there's actually two pieces to the submission. So the first one is a video submission where you get up and you give your like 1 to 2 minute, hello, I'm Javadi, I'm the GOAT type thing. You might be a little bit more creative than that. Then the other part that we're talking about, once you get to the next stage, we definitely have resources that we're going to help you to prepare what that presentation looks like. So as a service provider, I really don't have a lot of props, right? Because like, what am I going to be like? Okay, let's come on down to such and such house and show you what it looked like. I can do before and after pictures.
I can help you with props too.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is help assistance to help you to figure out the best way for you to present your idea so that people will know. So it's not like you don't have to come in like Shark Tank dressed as like a dinosaur or like or different things.
Like all types of things.
Yeah.
Cool, so.
Yeah, so like you could have like
Shortage of prompts.
like you could have like, I mean, you could do fun things and a lot of this will be put together once, once we understand like what your pitch is, what you're asking for, because a lot of times props kind of go into what the full offering looks like. So unfortunately, it's not like a yes or no answer, but like I said, but they're two different types of presentation. Right, Cindy? Yes, Javadi. See?
All good stuff. Okay, another question right over here. Hi, I'm Jill Frack with Fractional Solutions.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, one question I have is on going from solopreneurship to now selling a product. How do you not lose your identity of who you are as the owner or founder, but yet still get your product out there to bring like without identity loss?
Okay, well then that's my question too. Okay. Did you see how they both turned over here? They're like, okay. So as a service provider, you don't have a product, right? You are the product. You're the service. And so as you're moving to a product-based thing so that you don't get lost in that, you have to understand what that product is. And so you want to make sure that you're defining it just like you defined your service-based business. And you need to understand what your role is in that particular product, because the challenge is as a solopreneur and as a service provider, sometimes you feel like you got to make every one of your products, which then is a whole different thing that you don't want to go down that path. So that's a question. Let's talk afterwards to kind of dig a little bit deeper into that. Cindy will put that on the list of things to add as a topic for future LaunchBox things. Don't you like how specific I am? So we'll add that as a topic, because that also, as you're thinking about things, we're hearing things that other entrepreneurs are interested in, and we're looking for topics and conversations that we can have, because believe it or not, if you had the question, you're not the only one. Other people are struggling with that as well. And so that's a big deal to go from solopreneur to actually a product based. I struggle with that as well. So I look forward to us like talking and journeying through it together.
Thank you.
So see, you don't have to do it by yourself. You get me. Or you want that?
All right, I have another question on this side of the room and then I'm headed right back over there to you. Okay.
Hi, my name is Jolene, and I'm a founder and owner of Bloom by Jolene.
Yes, you just did the Fashion Week. Yeah. So if you, okay, I'm gonna get to the top and get her to the top, because she probably wasn't even gonna mention it. They just wrapped up Lehigh Valley Fashion Week, which many of you are sitting here like, who did I even know there was a Lehigh Valley Fashion Week? And shame on you for not knowing, but follow us on social media, you'll know next year. But she just did, and you two should connect as y'all both doing fashion, different spaces in fashion, but talk to each other, see now you made a connection. But yeah, okay, I'm done. Okay, I mean, I could be your cheerleader, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much for mentioning that. It was super excited, weekend. Oh, it was,
Yeah, I hope you got some pictures, because we're gonna wanna see your.
yeah. So my question is, what is the requirements to apply? And how long does it take to know if you are in and selected?
I
How
believe,
long is the time?
there should be a half sheet of paper on your desk. That looks like what Cindy is holding up. It has the basic requirements. I don't know when they notify the candidates. That'll probably be in a follow-up of the people who have applied.
So I do know that all of the candidates will be notified the week of May 26th. And the actual competition then is the last Wednesday in June.
But everyone should attend the competition.
Yeah, so you'll have a month, and then in that month period, we don't believe that you should be like floating out there by yourself, hoping for the best. And so we have coaches, and last year, I coached, didn't I?
You had a pretty successful track as a coach.
Yeah, so there were like top 3, and mine were 2 of the 3.
It wasn't a contest, but if it was, you would have won.
Yes, because I'm really, really interested in bring the models here to do something here.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
And
Yes.
and honestly, so you're the second person. Is this on?
Yeah.
So you're the second person after Pam who said I'm like a little freaked out about the application process. Get it in. You have nothing to lose. You're surrounded by a community of friendlies. And like Giovanni mentioned in the beginning about the Q&A part, there is nobody here, and none of the judges, I'm speaking on behalf of the judges, because I know half of them, nobody here wants to sabotage you or get you in a gotcha or an aha.
Yeah, to be honest, I was
guarantee-
feeling like that a little bit, and I'm like, no, I think I'm gonna do it.
No, this
No, let's change the name. Let's change the name. I am gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting year because there's a lot of people who are applied or in the process of, or who are going back to applying. I mean, so this will be the event on the 26th of June is going to be fantastic. But just know that we're all here rooting for your successes. I mean, I want everyone to get $1 million. I want everyone to get, all of the prizes and all of the everything. I don't think the stakes are quite that high this year. But please do it because
Jonathan, $1 million is out of your pocket.
right. And if you can find $1 million in one of my pockets, I guarantee it's yours. But part of
Just for those individuals who don't make the pitch competition, remember, we have your information. There are other services that we can provide for you. So the next time you go for a pitch, you're going to be successful.
And it's also like saying, well, because I'm going to start to lift weights and maybe I can't lift 1,000 pounds right now. But as you do the preparation, you get toned for what you need. It's not a loss to go through this process and not make it to the not make it in the winner's circle. The victory is getting through the application. The victory is getting on the stage. The victory is telling your story. The victory is having other people hear it and come up to you afterward and say, oh, I've got a kid who may be interested in your lesson. Oh, I know somebody who makes jams and jellies and they would love to have a distribution channel partner. I know somebody who would be blank, blank, blank. So that's what this is about. It's not about the prize money at the end. It's about going through the process. It's about doing the reps. It's about making your vision a little clearer. It's about getting these. My dad used to say, just do it. It'll put hair on your chest. 3/4 of the people don't want hair on their chest in this audience, but it's just about getting that rep. It's just about doing it because you did it and you're stronger than you were yesterday because of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ask me how I really feel about applying for this. If somebody wants to take this $1 million bill that Vince just gave me, come up, inside left pocket. Thank you, Vince.
All right, taking more questions here in the back, and just in case that didn't sink in, even if you don't apply, even if you don't get selected, come and watch and feel the energy and see if that doesn't change your mind.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lorraine Brown. I don't necessarily have a question. I just wanted something to say concerning to what you were asking. So if you want to keep writing because you feel traditional and that's so it's easier for you to get your ideas down, I don't know if you know ChatGPT, right? There's a version of it where you can just take pictures of whatever you've written. You can upload your pictures to this AI and it will analyze your writings. Like you can put all your thought into something that can think faster than you, and you can ask it questions, and you can then come up with, different ways to achieve anything that you want to do with your business. So you feed it basically with this knowledge. Now it knows your thoughts, it knows what you want to do. It can think of solutions for you that you wouldn't have thought of. Just thought I'd give the whole room that suggestion.
Thank you. Yeah, wrong website.
Oh, also regarding to something you had said earlier, you had said that you wanted to introduce or kind of combine like newer generations with the older generations and just kind of seeing how can we do that. And of course, like Cindy is a great outlet to that, of course. But also let me pitch ourselves as students and let you know that we're also always like interested in things like that as well to help businesses. You just can find students that are interested in that kind of essentially field with helping others, trying to help you guys out and basically combining both generations in ways that you can teach us and we can teach you as well. So definitely ChatGPT is definitely a great one as well.
That's amazing. Thank you for your offer. From someone who doesn't know anything about business, that's pretty great.
So do we have any other questions? Anything about the pitch contest?
I just have a quick request for the lady who was in the Fashion Week. Oh, what is your name?
Yolani?
Yolani. We have a fan over here.
Oh, she got a lot of fans. Don't worry about that.
We have a question over here. Valeria.
Thanks, Rita. It's Hilario from Quest Innovative. So we have intellectual property, which we've actually physically prototyped, but we're sort of pitching the intellectual property itself for the licensing and for a possible sale. We don't want to go and make the product ourselves. We want other people to come behind us, sort of partner and put it into their product. So how do you pitch that more effectively?
That's you, John.
So this sounds like something that I've been through. So we had a product. We started with the intellectual property and a prototype, and we wanted to be in the licensing space. We did not want to be in the manufacturing space. Now I'm in the manufacturing space because I couldn't get the licensing to work out the way that we wanted. But I think what you could do is if you've got a prototype and you understand what your total addressable market is, who would be buying this, what you think it would cost for them to make it, what you think the licensing play would be, what that recurring revenue might be, what someone would upcharge it for, right? You got to know what the end user sees in it. If you can articulate that, I think it's okay. I think it's certainly worthwhile to do. I think you would be excluded from the ladies LaunchBox competition because
You're not a lady.
because of the beard. But I think that it's the same as anything else. You've got to be able to articulate why your device is different, what the upside would be for someone to pick you up if you need scale in manufacturing, or breadth to get it to the point where it is a complete idea and then you can farm that out, or if you already have interest from a manufacturing partner. I think those are the questions that you should be focused on, and I'm happy to talk to you about it afterward.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing. You need to figure out, what is my $1 today investment going to do in the future? Is it going to go up 25x? Is it going to go up 1 million fold? Or What's the opportunity for someone to come in and get behind your product, either financially or spiritually or motivational, whatever it's gonna be, to articulate the product and to articulate the upside of someone coming in to license it and what that financial upside would be.
Okay, yeah, I think we need to talk some more.
I'll look forward to it.
You
Yeah,
need
it's a
to know
question.
your numbers.
It's a question.
I have a question for Jonathan. Why the name Salamander Reservoir for piping system protection?
So salamanders are ectothermic, which means they don't control their own body temperature, just like a fire sprinkler system. So in the event of cold weather, salamanders could freeze to death. And we don't want a salamander to freeze to death any more than you want your pipe system to freeze to death. So you got to protect these little guys who are perfectly happy to stay in these dank and dark and overlooked spaces, but you don't want to forget about them.
I love salamanders.
Me too.
Okay, so I know that she's coming to the mic. Can I do one little thing? So does you have one thing you want to share with anybody? Your one like key takeaway for pitching? I asked the question.
I'll start because you give me a microphone and I'm at zero delay. I have two things. The first, just get it done. Just get it out there and just see what happens. You know, you've got to get it out to the public, get feedback. The other thing I will say is that the first one is going to be lousy, and your second one is going to be a little bit better, and your third one is going to be better than that, and your 50th one is going to be great. But you don't get to 50 without starting at number 1. So start that process quickly. Start it today.
Smile. When you're doing your video, smile. When you're in person, smile. Establish eye contact with everyone in the room.
And on the telephone, because you can.
And on the phone, I can hear you smile. When you're on Zoom, everyone's like this. But I'm smiling, and at the end of the Zoom, my face hurts. I'm smiling. But smiling makes a big difference. You want to send out a positive energy. Use the resources that you met in your networking circles because we're all here to help each other. So if we all have strengths and weaknesses, find somebody that can fill in the things that you don't have.
Okay, so since I asked the question, my thing is to show up. Like, show up for your business, show up for events, show up for networking opportunities, but every single opportunity you have to show up. Because the one thing that I found with my business is that, believe it or not, if I don't tell anyone what my business is, actually no one knows I'm in business. Can you believe that? It's such a simple concept. So it's just really about showing up and making sure every single time you make the conscious decision to show up, so that when you go to the networking event, decide I'm showing up because I want to meet 4 people. But show up. That's like, and then I guess so show up and smile and start. So we have 3 S's: show up, smile, and start.
Love it.
There it is.
Oh, then we have a question here in the back.
So, it's not really a question, but it's more of like me promoting myself.
Well, I love it. Promote on.
Okay, well, my name is Jilnar Bashur. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I was just asking about your Lenny's name for Fashion Week. So I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I'm kind of interested. And if you're interested, I can truly help you out if you need it with anything. I'll give you my contact after this if you're interested.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's what networking is all about.
Yes.
We're so happy to be able to provide this venue for that. And how about these great panelists? And please, as Cindy said, take advantage of the our campus network continuing afterwards. Please don't rush out. Just a couple of thank yous to our LaunchBox Ladies Advisory Council. Everybody raise their hand. Rita. All of your hard work is very much appreciated. Also, would like to thank Tiffany Valdez Rivera. She is our business development coordinator and also our go-to person for just about anything. So thank you, Tiffany. Thank you for. And there is a QR code on the screen. Please utilize that to take our survey and help us plan other meetings, help us know what we can do better, what we can do the same, what we can do more of, what we can do less of. Your opinions are very important to us.
Our QR codes are on the sheet too, so feel free to get in touch with us.
Absolutely. And that's for mentoring and getting ready for whether it's just talking about your business or getting ready for the pitch. So now we're gonna pick choose our winner. Here we go.
The number is 1228513.
You broke a lot of hearts. You broke a lot of hearts.
Nothing personal. Nothing personal.
Travel safely and thank you for coming and please come again.
Yeah, feel free to hang out a little bit and network and shake hands with people.
You know what my next up there? Right now. Yeah.
I can introduce my public.
I can prove it on. I can prove it
Yeah, we got to move out.
Yeah.